Okay, um, so I'm gonna tackle this first session, um, and I guess it's something that I've just kind of been wrestling with a little bit. You'll notice that I didn't introduce myself on Facebook as one of the speakers because I didn't know that there was supposed to be 4 speakers, and anyway, it's just something that, and if you know me, you know that I like agendas and I follow agendas and I know this agenda by heart, and for whatever reason, this space was opened. And so I've been wrestling with God a little bit, in a good way, but just not really knowing what direction to take. And so this is going to be kind of different, but there's like 37 of you who have never been here before, so you'll just think this is how we normally roll, and it's all good. So as I was contemplating just this conference itself, the 2 words that kept coming to mind were make room. Make room. That was it. And I just contemplated that, and I was mulling that, and what does that mean? And so anyway, that's just kind of where this was birthed out of. Also, because there's 37 of you who haven't been here, I will introduce myself too. My name is Amber. My name is Amber Kennedy. I grew up in the Glasgow area. I went to college in Dickinson, North Dakota, met my co-conference planner there as my college roommate, eventually brought her back to Glasgow, or God orchestrated it all. So Stephanie and I we just had this dream sort of together. I probably started the dream a little bit, but she has dreamt with me, and she also thought I was supposed to speak here, and I was like, shouldn't you just like decorate the tables and stuff? Like, how about I pick the speakers and you pick out what kind of mints we're gonna have, okay? But it's just been cool, just even just in our partnership, our co-ownership of just what God is doing with this part of it. She was very content to fill the mint containers and to be down and up and down and up in the kitchen. But she has a prayer chair, and God speaks to her in a prayer chair. And so it's neat because when I don't know where to drive, she can tell me the instructions, and vice versa. And so anyway, you can thank her that I'm holding the microphone right now. No, it's good. It's good. So I have been back here for since 2007. So it's like 16-ish years, somewhere around in there, 17 years. I've been at the hospital ever since. That was not my 5-year plan. It was not to move into my parents' house again after college. But here we were, and God brought a guy from California to Bozeman to Glasgow. I know. He just says he's from Bozeman because that was his first pit stop. But anyway, it is a pleasure just to serve in our community, in our church. We both have full-time jobs outside of this, but just love doing life together and investing in people. And I see potential in people, and I want to pull that out. So as I look at you, I see that you have potential. And maybe you've come a really long ways already, but inside of that, I see that there's more, and there's more that God wants to do in you and through you, because you're valuable and you're needed, and God needs you to reach other people. Other people need you, so you're valuable and you're worthy. Anyway, so started this conference because Women of Faith had kind of shut down what they were doing in Billings. That's been 10 plus years ago. So anyway, we just get to come together. It was once a year, and then we kept selling out. And so then we did a spring conference this last year. It was Lose the Luggage roundtables, which there was lots of confusion about what that was going to look like and what that was going to be and what it even was. But it basically is this same conference, and there's just round tables at it. So when you see that this next spring advertised, don't be scared of the round tables, okay? It's just a place to put your notebook and your cup of coffee. So it's a different feel, though. It's a little bit maybe creative. I like to think this one's fun, but that one just had a little bit more maybe loose of an agenda. What was the word you used? Intimacy, yeah, but not in a scary way. Nobody had to stand on the table and talk or anything. So anyway, okay, so I want to talk about making room. And the reason I wanted us to do this right off the bat is the word depleted. Can anybody identify with the word depleted? It means to lessen in resources, power, or value. This last week I attended a training at work, and the gal was talking about value and your worth. And it's something, those two things, those words are kind of intertwined, but women especially can base their value and their worth off of what they're doing, how they're feeling, all of these things, right? So a baby is born, and that baby, you're not holding it, looking at this precious little thing going, we'll see if you're worth something, I guess. Like, we don't do that, right? They're valuable. They have to do absolutely nothing, and that baby is valuable. It's precious, right? So why do we fast forward 30 years, 60 years, and go, I don't know if I'm really that valuable. I don't really know if I'm worthy. It doesn't matter what changed. It's that baby was doing nothing. You're doing more than nothing. And so it has nothing to do with what we're doing. So depleted. And you can think of it as a balloon where you just sometimes it's really full and sometimes all the air goes out and it's just like, bleh, it's limp, it's done, I'm done. I don't have anything less to give. I'm lacking the resources. So one word that I've obviously I'm being a word person this year, but one word that has been, I've just been contemplating is the word capacity. And I have a tendency to be a doer, and I'm a helper, and I do things. And I'm never bored. I don't ever remember the last year that I was bored. I just am not. I always have things that I could do, should do, would like to do. And in that, I had felt like the last few months that I was just over capacity. And I'm like, I don't understand, because I'm not saying yes to everything. And so what I was doing is I had like a measuring glass, and it was only like 3/4 full. And so when an opportunity came, when somebody asked me to do something, when I wanted to do something, I was like, oh, sure, yeah, I still got capacity. There's like 1/4 of a cup left in there. So I still have capacity. And then I'd fill it up, and then my week started, and guess what? There was a lot of unplanned things that came, right? And so now I have absolutely no capacity. I'm full because I already filled it up to the top, okay? So 2 things is I can't be at full capacity all the time because life happens, right? I know that doesn't sound very revolutionary, but it's like I just had this revelation of, even if it isn't at capacity, that doesn't mean I have to say yes because everything else is going to happen. And so I'm working in this overflow state of just feeling like I have 0 capacity, and then our feelings start lining up with what's happening in this capacity thing. And it's like, why are you irritable? Why are you grouchy? Why are you out of patience? Well, my capacity is really full. So 2 things, I can look at that and say, I have to say no to something because I can't be at the top all the time, right? Or what did I already put in the bucket that needs to get out? What's sitting in there that isn't a good use of my time? What am I mulling on? What am I doing that doesn't need to be in there? So with that, I have a little example here, a big example. Okay. So I have my luggage. Okay, so I have my luggage, super cute, right? I like the design. I want people when I'm in the airport to see that I have cute luggage because they don't know what's inside and, whatever. So anyway, I get my luggage, and I came to this conference even. I might go to church on Sunday. I know that God has good things for me, and I come expecting good things, right? I don't think there's anybody in this room that would say that you didn't think that God would give you good things. God is a giver of good things, right? So I come here today knowing there's going to be good things, okay? So God's like, I want to give you rest. I want to give you rest. Here's a pillow. I want you to rest. I'm like, oh, God, that's so nice. Yes, okay. I want to keep that. So I'm going to put that in my luggage. And, okay. Oh, I don't have any room for rest. Okay. Well, see, I have this other bag here, just in case I need to carry more so that I can carry this pretty thing, but then when more stuff comes along, because I'm over capacity, I'm going to put it in this one, and then I'll just carry it on this shoulder, pull it here, right? And then I have this bag. So this is like my Facebook, social media, that sort of bag. Even I can come to church like this, neat and tidy. I leave this one in the car, and then I bring this one with. So it's like super cute. This is like an old mask. This shoe, it doesn't fit anymore, but it's super cute. I mean, I don't want to give it up because but you used it already. Like it was seasons ago, right? You've already used this. It was great. You don't need it anymore. I mean, I don't really need it. I just kind of want it still because I identify with this shoe because it was really cute with some outfits, okay? And then I have this sunscreen and it's expired. But I mean, you want to have sunscreen, right? So if you put this on, it's actually going to harm you because you're not going to be protected from the sun. Yeah, but I mean, it's fine. It's not really taking up that much space, so just leave that in there, right? So God wants to give me all these good things, and I wanted to go snorkeling. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to vacation. I wanted to enjoy life, right? And all I have is this snorkel, and God is giving me. He's like, here, Amber, why don't you have this brand new snorkel set? You can breathe. It has flippers. Like, you'll do so much better than that. Well, you see, I do not have any room. I don't have any room for that. It's a good thing, but I don't have any room. And then I have this hat. It's really been with me through all these things and stuff. So, I mean, it's a little tattered, but it reflects me because that's kind of how I am. I'm a little bit tattered. And God wants to give me this, He wants to give me this new hat, but all I have is this old hat, and if I'm content wearing that hat, I can't wear this hat at the same time, right? So there's all this stuff, and I'm full, and God's giving me good things, but I have no room. So we got to make room. So deep down, I mean, it's kind of a silly example, right? But it makes sense. Deep down, even in our insides, if we want to be like super vulnerable and super real today, like what is the stuff that's way down deep? Not just the clothes hamper that pops out at you or whatever, but like what's way down there? What's in the little box? Were you guys ever like little and you had the little box or the diary that like locked and you had the little key, right? So we put this stuff in, things happen to us, and then we just stuff it a little bit. And it's down there, and we just kind of forget about it. And we don't ever bring it out because nobody wants to see that, right? And so what is the thing? What are the things that have happened to you that you've carried, that you've stuffed in your suitcase just in case, or maybe this is just how it's going to be, and there was room in there, so I put it in there. But now God has all these good things, and I have to give up something to make room for the good things. So you're thinking some of this stuff I can't give up. You can look at your own life, and it's just like, I didn't choose this. Like, I can't help this. So maybe you have a family member who's struggling with their health. Maybe you have a son who's going through divorce. Maybe you have something in your own physical body that isn't right. It's causing you pain. Something is happening, and it's distracting, it's distressing. Maybe you have a job situation that is less than ideal. Like, it's horrific. I hate it. I get a stomach ache when I go to work. I do not like this at all. It is less than ideal. Maybe you have a strained marriage, strained relationship with your children, with your parents. You have a friend that you're struggling with. There's all sorts of things that those don't just magically go away, right? Like this is where we're at. This is the season of life of these are the things. And it was like I got this picture. We recently went to Mexico for Brooke's wedding. And when we got there, we all had luggage, right? You pack a lot of luggage. And these handy-dandy bellboys come. And they take your luggage, and you go with them. And if it would have been just me, I would have had this luggage, and I would have trucked it all the way to the room and all the things. He's like, oh, just hop on this golf cart. I'll take it with you. He brings the luggage. He takes it to the room. He climbs 3 stories of stairs. He brings it into the room for us. Is it still mine? Yeah, it's still mine. I just didn't have to carry it, right? So there's some things that you can't just say, oh, here, I'm giving this up forever and I'm walking away. Life doesn't happen like that. But there are things that God's willing to carry with, for, instead of, right? And so it's still yours. He's not going to do anything with it, especially if you aren't giving it to him, right? There are things that you can give up and surrender to him. Stephanie, I'll have you guys come if you would. And so I just thought that was such a beautiful picture of how God can carry it. And there's things in our lives that we are walking in, and it affects us, and it's heavy. But and not to make God look less than, but he is willing to be everything you need, including a bellboy that carries that luggage for you. And so what I'd like you to do is I want you to grab your notebooks. And just going back to that box that has the padlock on it, that has the tiny little key that anybody really could break into if they wanted to, but it's yours, right? And God's not going to fling something open that you aren't offering to him. And so today, you get to find the key. You get to grab the key. I don't know where the key's at. It's been lost a long time. It's in there somewhere. It's okay. You got 5 hours. You can find the key. Just find it and open it. And that's all you got to do. It's like, here, God, what is it what's holding me back? What's causing me to not move forward? What's causing me to feel completely overwhelmed? What's feeling at capacity? And so what I want you to do is to write down in your notebook, what are you carrying? And I want you to write that down. What is it right now? And I will preface this, you don't have to show anybody. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to do anything, but I do want you to put pen to paper. What are you carrying right now? What's heavy? What's in your luggage? What's happening? What's causing you concern? What's causing you to think about it? You're good. Okay, now I want you to think about over the last year or two. Last year or two, what's heavy? What are you carrying? And then the last one is, I want you to broaden it. And I want you to think back when you were 5, when you were 10, when you were 20. And I know you don't remember a lot of details, but sometimes there's things that it's just like, that was impactful, and I'm still carrying that. So as you write, Stephanie's going to sing this song, and it's called Make Room. And I just want you to listen to the words, the lyrics, and then I would like the prayer team, if you guys would, just to go into the back there. And after she runs through this song, I just want you to feel free to do whatever it is you need to do, whatever conversation you need to have with God, whatever posture you need to be in. So maybe you flip around and you kneel at your seat. Maybe you come up here and stand. Maybe you come and kneel. Maybe you go to the prayer team, because this is something I've never talked about. I've never done this. Maybe you have talked about it 27 times, but you're still ready to give it up. Either one is good. So the prayer team's available if you do want somebody to pray with you, for you. But otherwise, I just want you to take the next 5-10 minutes and just self-reflect. What am I carrying? What is heavy? What has been filling my suitcase? Because today I really, really want to receive. I really do want good things. I want what God has for me, but I'm at capacity and I feel depleted and I don't want to feel that way anymore. And so sometimes there's an action that has to happen. And so I'm just hoping by writing it down, it actually just puts it to paper. It doesn't even mean you have to say it to anybody, but just putting it down, getting it out. And then if it involves action, that's okay too. Okay, so just listen to these words if you would.